Hi! Today, my mom and I thought we would share with you some decluttering tips. I have the 4 mistakes people make when decluttering, and we often like to watch episodes of Hoarders for inspiration. So why don't you give our viewers some tips on how to keep somebody in under control who's kind of a hoarder in the house? The things like you did.
Yeah. Well, when your dad would always leave tools laying around in the kitchen or somewhere, I would just put them on either the end of the counter, or like now we have the utility room, I'd put them out there on the table. Or I could put them in the garage where he keeps them anyway, but I put them somewhere where he could find them and put them away.
And so my dad was something of a hoarder. So he had the attic pretty much filled with stuff, and the garage was pretty filled.
And the basement when we had one.
Yeah. And so I don't know how my mom was able to confine his hoarding. So do you...
Well, whenever I'd find something that was laying around where it didn't belong, like I say, I would put it out somewhere where he could find it and put it away. He'd usually do that.
And did you like lay down the law, like there will be no hoarding in the living room or something like that? How did you get him to not hoard in the living room?
No, I didn't put down any law or anything, but whenever I find, papers and stuff where they don't belong, I just either put them where they do belong, or like I say, I had a place to put his stuff, like on the end of the counter out in the laundry room on the table.
And he never got mad or anything?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because I know it can be challenging living with a hoarder. So, okay. Well, the first mistake people make when they are decluttering is thinking about how much they paid for it. I paid good money for this. I don't want to get rid of it. And, it is something that makes you feel bad when you have paid decent money for something and you don't use it. But the point is that money's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
So,
well, sometimes you can repurpose some of those things and make something else out of it that you can use. And if not, then you might as well try to sell it or give it away. Or
do you have an example of something that you've repurposed? Or
I can't think of anything right now.
Well, I do know that in the past, I've done things like I had a dress that I wore a couple times. I didn't really like the way it fit, but I liked the top part of it, so I cut off the bottom and made a top out of it, and now I wear the top quite often.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's one thing.
I think I have done things like that too, or maybe cut the top off and made a skirt out of it.
Yeah, if you like the bottom better than the top. Yeah, I've done that too. Because sometimes the top fits weird, but the bottom's a nice style or something. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you like the nice full skirt better than the top.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that for a long time because I haven't sewed for a long time.
Well, our second mistake that people make when decluttering is if you have, you've started hoarding something, maybe not like a ton, but you have more of something than you really need, and you think, well, what if I run out of it? Like, of course, the weirdos did during 2020 with the toilet paper. I mean, I still don't know what that was all about. That made no sense at all. But yeah, what if I run out of it? Well, if it's something that expires, for instance, and you've got way more than you could use before the expiration date, give it away, because you're not going to use it, and then you're just going to have this old expired whatever it is that you're going to have to throw out anyway. Yeah. So, and if you run out of it, go to the store. Number 3. I'll need it as soon as I get rid of it. I just know I'll find a use for it. And I think we all struggle with that from time to time. because I know I have before. In fact, well, I haven't really struggled with it because what I've done is I've gotten rid of the thing, and then the next week it's like, oh, now I know what I could have used that thing for, but it's too late.
Yeah.
And it's never like a tragedy. Oh, the world is going to end because I can't do that now. So, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I used to do that sometimes, but now that I'm old, I don't do things like that too much.
And then the last mistake people make when decluttering is thinking, well, I can resell this thing, but do you ever resell it? That's the question. If you do, then good. By all means, go ahead and do that. But a lot of people will go, oh, I can resell this thing, and then it sits in the garage or in the storage room for 14 years, and oh, I was going to sell this 18 years ago. So if you're going to resell it, then do it now.
Yeah, you can try to resell it, and if you can't, then give it to charity or something.
Yeah. So a couple bonus tips that I have are, there have been times I've bought something and thinking, oh, this, I want to see how this works with my organizational system or whatever, and then it just didn't work for me. I didn't like it for whatever reason. So then it's like, well, I've wasted this money on this thing now, and then you feel bad. And I would say don't feel bad, because if you don't try things, you don't know what's going to work. So, so if you've tried it, it doesn't work, pass it along and move on to the next thing, and don't feel bad. And then the last comment I have about this is, if you're trying for a minimalist lifestyle, remember, you cannot be minimalist until you have minimal stuff. So get in there and clean it out. In fact, my mom could tell you, I've got 10 bags of junk in her garage right now waiting to be given away on Tuesday. So I just keep finding more stuff to get rid of.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten to the place where I don't have anything left to get rid of, but whatever I leave behind, you kids will have to get rid of.
Well, and I know when my dad died, my mom felt a little overwhelmed by the stuff that he left behind, but my brother and I cleared it out pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So, it's always helpful to have people helping you so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. You did a good job.
Oh, thanks. Take care of yourself, because nobody else will. Bye.
Bye.